Let's go. Don't waste your life, man.
I think the gospel is underestimated in its power to liberate us while we live from the fear of death. And I mention this because right now, as we're recording, I did a funeral 2 days ago for an older lady who was all ready, and so I celebrated her arrival in heaven, and then 3 hours later, I walked into the room of one of our men, 50 years old, who probably by the time anybody sees this video will be in heaven. And in both of them, I carried with me this amazing text, this gospel text from Hebrews 2, where since the children, that's us, share in flesh and blood, Christ himself partook of the same nature, so that through death, that's the gospel, so that through death he might destroy the one who has the power of death and deliver those who had been held in bondage by the fear of death their whole life long. I don't think most 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds think of themselves in bondage to the fear of death. But there was a book written about 40 years ago called The Denial of Death. And the whole point of it was our culture denies death, can't handle death, doesn't want to think about death. And the result is that we do all kinds of behaviors that result in enslaving us to get death out of our minds. And so there is an incredible freedom that comes into our lives when the gospel pulls the plug on the fear of death at age 15 or 25 or 35. Not just the week before we die of cancer, lung cancer, but all through life. If we have the death problem solved, and only the gospel solves the death problem, we are the freest, most radical, and hopefully the most loving of all people.